Good morning and welcome to Diva Guidance weekly card reading with MJ. It's Sunday, December 4th, 2016, and we're going to be doing a reading for the upcoming week from Sunday until next Sunday, which would be the 11th. And we'll just see what's going to happen this week. We're into December, a lot of different feeling coming up this month already. So let's see what we have in our mystery tarot box. I'm just going to take my quartz crystal here, there, beautiful quartz crystal, and my shamanic dream crystal, which helps you get in touch. And this week's stone, we're going to talk about this beautiful blue rock here. If you either go this way, it has some brownish striations through it. It's a light blue color, and its name is Angelite or Blue Anhydrite. One of the reasons it's called Angelite is it helps us communicate with our angels, if you want to believe in the angels or energies around us that bring us positivity and calmness. As a stone itself, though, it is very soothing, very calming, and if you're not noticing already, there's a through line with the mineral kingdom, and that it's a very grounding essence in our human lives and our human spirits. Very grounding to our human life and our experience as humans. So that's why we talk about them. It's energetic. On an energy level, Angelite helps calm our nerves, helps us stay focused, and helps us stay in control when we're around difficult people. Maybe around people that seem to press our buttons. We're not really sure why, but they just do. They're there to teach us something. Often they're there to teach us patience, so this is a good stone for that. Also, something else that this Angelite is good for is helping soothe and calm the throat chakra. Even though it helps aid in communication with our spirit guides. And if you haven't ever done any work with a spirit guide, run out today, get some Angelite. It's very easy to find. You can find it in necklaces, bracelets, earrings, to wear. It's good to wear because it helps calm the nerves, and also it's great to wear as a choker or as a necklace because it helps calm the throat chakra. And so opposite to what you might think a mineral would do, would be stimulating, this particular mineral actually helps calm that particular chakra. And what we mean by that is it's going to help it spin, for better use of a word, at a lower hertz, and so it's going to calm us down, and we're able to think before we speak, because we might be faced with some people that are frustrating to us, because they're there to teach us a lesson about ourselves, or maybe we're there to learn, or maybe we're there to teach them a lesson. I mean, obviously we're both there to teach each other lessons. It's symbiotic every time. So without further ado, let's remove the Angelite, and she's going to be very calming to us today. So let's see what happens. The Buddha's happy that, yes, very nice. Keep things calm. So we'll open the mystery tarot box and see what's in here. What did the universe bring us today? This is funny. I've been talking a lot about plaid lately. I'm really into plaid. I must get myself some for Christmas. So this is the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. I will just do a brief cut and show you some of the imagery on this Rider-Waite deck. The Rider-Waite deck is a very old deck. It was first published, I believe, in 1910. And this is an interesting fact. Mr. Waite was actually a very educated occultist, and he did a lot of research on symbology. And he came up with the idea to create a deck that had more than just the numbers and the and had more symbology to help people interpret the meaning of the cards. So he hired a woman named Miss Smith, and she did all this imagery, and Miss Smith actually was quite a well-known illustrator at the time in the theater, and she'd actually worked with William Yeats and his brother, and so she'd done some illustrating, and they met, and she illustrated these cards. And this is classic deck. If you don't own a tarot deck and you're thinking of getting one or buying one for someone else, great time, Christmas present. It's a great Christmas present. So I've already shuffled the deck, and I'm going to do one cut, as is my ritual, as we said before. Everyone has their own way of doing things. This is how I do things. And then we're going to stick with our 3-card spread, just because we're going back to basics. I was thinking maybe we'd do something different today, but the deck has told me to keep it simple. So we're going to keep it simple. So the first one, the world. Well, this is interesting because we just got this last week in a different position. It's getting behind us anyway, so we're moving forward. This is good. If you're following, if you haven't been following our card readings, why don't you start and see how the tarot actually all fits together when we do a weekly reading, and we can start to see that our path is laid out before us, and we have signs that we can follow to help us maneuver our way. So just like last week, we have the world, number 21. We talked about this last week, the end of a cycle, and this is very interesting because it is the end of a cycle, and it's the cycle of 9. The cycle of 9 years is coming up numerologically, and if you add up 2017 to 7, 1 adds up to 10, which is a 1 year. 1 plus 0, 1. And 2016, 9 is the year. And so if we think that our life works in cycles of 9 years, we'll see that we're coming to the end of that cycle in December. It's the end of the 9. So all of the things showing us the way here. So this is the world, and the world can represent that, and especially in this position of the past, or what is behind us, what will be behind us, what is behind us, what we're leaving behind. If we take all of this symbology into account, we have the circle here is sort of a crown of laurels, which is victory, it's what we're going after. And she's got 2 wands. That's sort of representing the 2 sides to everything. There isn't just one side to everything. There's 2 sides to every story, to every experience. And then we look at the bull. What does that represent? Stubbornness, courage, right? Freedom of thought. And comes into the what man's experience is, and the human experience. So all of these things come together as we journey around our cycle of life, and we learn in all these areas so that we can come to the next phase. And this is ourselves, the present, our question, the concern at hand. So this is judgment. So there's a lot of symbolism in this card. There is obviously there's this sort of Revelations, Christian, biblical symbolism. I guess biblical, it wouldn't have to be Christian necessarily. There's lots of the judgment stories in many religions. And so if we look at the symbols, we see that the meaning of the card is rebirth. So that's interesting how we're coming at the end of a cycle, and then right now we're preparing, we're in the moment, we're asking our questions about our rebirth. So in the cycle of life, we can go around and around and around, just like we talked about last week, and we can just repeat the same mistakes over and over and never learn from them. But if we don't actually look at our experiences, take a look at them. See, she's kind of looking behind her in this one, interestingly enough. She's looking back at her experiences so she can decide what she needs to keep and what she needs to get rid of and what she needs to do new and what she needs to not do ever again, right? So all of us need to do this, especially now at the end of the cycle. We've been in a kind of a cycle of repeating the same behaviors and the same things over and over and over. And so judgment calls us, it's time for rebirth. And it is. It really is. It's the start of a new 9-year cycle. So there's no use just keep doing the same thing we're doing that isn't bringing us joy, or is bringing us trouble, or is causing us pain. We are in control of our lives, so we have the power to change our actions. So if something we're doing is bringing us the same thing over and over, it's time to let that go, or find a new way to maneuver through. And the way it works in life is we just keep getting brought the same experiences over and over until we learn the lesson. I guess it's kind of like discipline, self-discipline. Learning how to be self-disciplined in certain areas. We don't always have to say what's on our mind. Doesn't mean we're not being truthful with ourselves. As this is telling us here with the throat chakra, the calming influence to the words we say. Because the words we say are very powerful, and we often forget how powerful they are, and how they're like little spells that we can put on ourselves and people. So sometimes we need to break that and stop the bad habit of gossiping, or gossiping about ourselves in our own minds, and stop the bad habit. Maybe we react, maybe we do things we shouldn't, that makes us feel bad, then it becomes a cycle, and then we keep doing it. And if we actually sit for a moment in silence and listen to ourselves, we will start to hear the true self, and we will start to see clearly what we need to change and how we need to change it. Many times we know what we need to change, we just don't know how. Interesting enough, it also is a powerful new moon right now. And the new moon is a time when we want to draw things to us that we want. Draw those energies. The new moon is the time when we're drawing good things to us and the things we want. So let's use our gentle influence this week to concentrate on bringing gentleness to us, gentleness to how we interact with others and with ourselves. In this new phase that's coming upon us, we're going to need to practice before January. I can feel we all need practice in this area. And so now we're going to move into what's going to happen next. And look at this. We have the 6 of Wands. Once again, we have more laurels of victory. There's a laurel of victory on our knight's head here, on our page's head. I'm not sure, on our guy. He's definitely victorious. And there's another laurel on his wand. His wands representing our intellect and our strengths. And so what this card is telling us is that if we relate more than just to ourselves, and we relate to all of the troubles of those around us who are supporting us, right? And not just relate to just our own experience, but try to relate to all of the experiences around us. This kind of ties in with our judgment card of watching what we say and watching how we interact with people. And maybe if we have more empathy with others, we also then we're stronger. And that same goes for ourselves. So sometimes it's easier to be empathetic with other people because they're not us, but it's harder deep down. We're not being empathetic with ourselves. I love the horse's look on his face. Look at this horse. He's looking at the questioner, or you, looking at us like, are we going to get this thing going? Or I'm just going to keep trotting along here. I really want to go. Like, he looks impatient. He's like, are we going? Or are you just like going to keep repeating the same thing over about yourself, which goes back to this one. Don't repeat the same thing over and over. That's behind you. Now you're moving forward. And in order to move forward, you have to look at our weaknesses and turn them into strengths. So we have to take those weaknesses, our what I guess the rods represent this week would be our weaknesses, and we're going to take those and we're going to turn them into victories. And the only way to do it is to take them out and show them in the light. even within ourselves. Don't hide them. Don't pretend everything's happy, happy, happy all the time. Sometimes when we're feeling our most frustrated or our saddest or our, the most challenged, that's actually our true strengths coming out. That's our true self. Who you are when faced with adversity is who you are. Everyone can be good when things are rosy. It's when things are tough that we have to pull out our wands. And are we going to turn those into, are we going to just let them get broken? Or are we going to turn them into something, into a strength, and something new? And we can turn our negative aspects of self into something positive. We aren't saddled with these things of ourselves our whole life. This is the amazing thing about being a human being. Isn't this right, Buddha? We can transform. We can transcend. We can change ourselves. We don't have to be always the same. We can run ahead and we can find our strengths, and we have support all around us. So don't think you are alone in this world. We are all experiencing the same thing. So that's the reading this week. Ending of a phase and getting prepared for a new phase where we're going to move forward. We're going to be one with ourselves, and we're going to stop hiding ourselves, and we're going to stop those bad behaviors that are holding us back and not letting us, walk into the next level. And all the time keeping ourselves calm, like the Buddha, by doing our daily meditation. And meditation is the key, people. It keeps us calm in the face of adversity, and life is full of challenges. And this week, as we get into the holiday season, people are starting to think about that. Things start to feel a bit hectic. So take time for yourself. Do it every day. It helps deal with the world outside and those people around us, and helps us have more bliss. And so without any more ado, it's time to meditate. So we're going to do a meditation for a few minutes. Get comfortable. Take your time. Get yourself some pillows. Get seated comfortably, either in a chair or maybe on your sofa, as long as you're sitting up nice and straight. And if you are sitting on the floor, just put some pillows under your bottom, and also try to attempt to sit in the cross-legged position. Put some pillows or blankets under your ankles as well. That also helps, because that can be a point of minimal but suffering. At any rate, so we want to keep it as comfortable as possible. And it's just going to be a couple of minutes here, and we're just going to calm ourselves down by taking a nice deep breath in through the nose and exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. And one more time. And exhale. Close your eyes and continue to inhale at your own pace. Feel a little shaky, that's okay. Just keep breathing and bring your thoughts to your breath. Today we talked about the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle, getting in touch with ourselves and getting in touch with our maybe our darker side or our weaker side, or the parts of ourselves we would like to change. In order to change those things about ourselves, we have to first be able to see them and what they are. It's hard to change something you don't know what it is. So today, let's just breathe, and while we're breathing, just listen. Listen to what your thoughts are saying. If you have any thoughts that are telling you you shouldn't be a certain way, or you need to stop doing something and you're berating yourself, just bring yourself back to your breath, but make note And look at that thought as a external thought, most likely as something you heard. Just let those thoughts come through your mind and then just let them go. You'll come back to those later when you're doing your meditation. Take a nice deep breath and give yourself some space. We all need to calm down and just listen. One more nice deep breath in. Exhale through the nose. We're going to take 3 deep sighs where we exhale through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale with a sigh. And again. And exhale. And one more time. Oh, that feels good. Just let yourself relax for a few minutes. Remember to bring yourself back to the breath anytime you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed. Just for 3, 4, 5, 6 breaths, and you will feel immediately calmer. Good luck this week. Good luck with your letting go, moving forward, and getting in touch with yourself just a little bit deeper this week. And we'll see you next week. This is MJ at Diva Guidance. If you would like a more in-depth reading or some more personalized meditation guidance, please contact me at www.divaguidance.com, and don't forget to subscribe to this page. Namaste. Have a great week.